Hondo, first question.
Okay.
Coach, obviously,
Recording in progress.
Whoops. Hondo, can you hear me?
yes, sir. Coach, obviously, there's going to be a lot of talk about the players that didn't play or make the trip, but I want to take a different angle, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. Most of the time coming down this far in camp, you kind of know the roster. What does it say to the job Dave did building a group of guys for you that you have so many guys competing for such a few spots? What's it talk about the depth of the quality he's done, sir?
Yeah, I think that every decision that we've tried to make is really with that in mind. And Dave and his group have found, going all the way back to February and March, tried to add as many competitive bodies in each position group that we could. I really think that we found a lot of the right kind of people that come in here really are interested in that kind of competition. The attitude, the approach that we have from some of the veteran guys that were here before, and then also that we've put in there and blended together along with some of the young guys who you've seen obviously a lot of football being played by those guys in the preseason. So I just think our overall commitment to trying to improve the competition across the board, I think has made our team, we'll see how much better we've made our team, but we certainly have made each position room competitive. They know that they're trying to compete to earn the opportunity to play on all four downs. And I really commend Dave and his group for trying to do that. And Hondo, they're still trying to do it. Like they're looking at every nook and cranny of film that we produced. And then obviously now that the league is playing, I mean, that's just a big part of this operation. And his group is obviously hard at work, just evaluating the entire league, not only for the teams we have to play going forward, but also anything else that may or may not be able to help our team.
Hey, Josh, two of the things I think we talked about last week was, run fits on the defensive line and special teams coverage on kicks and punts. Seems like those things were better. How much of a focus was that, and how pleased were you with that last night?
Yeah, I think, I think we saw some progress. We didn't face any kickoff returns last night because we chose to, try to see if we could create touchbacks, and Dana did a good job there. But for the most part, I thought we were trying hard to do some things better in the run defense, our fits, our force, our tackling. I thought we had some good tackles, and then we had some things where we can probably do them better. But I thought our players, look, we've tried to identify what it is we're trying to fix and improve on each week. Hopefully the communication is clear so that they understand what those things are. And I thought a few of those things showed up in the game last night.
Hey, Josh, not that he's the only one, but when you have a young player like Alex Leatherwood, who's going through some growing pains, what's kind of the key from a coaching standpoint to kind of aid them in that road to try to turn the corner?
Consistency, and look, I've said this before, there's a lot of guys that, are out there trying to improve and get better, and an offensive line is really, the unit itself is really a collective, heartbeat, if you will. So when one man does something, that maybe is not exactly what we want, then it'll affect the other four guys. And so, usually when that unit plays well, it's the result of all five of them, probably plus the tight ends, doing their job the right way and with the right technique and fundamentals. So just staying consistent with what we're trying to do. We need to approach each day as an opportunity to get better and improve in those things. But repetition, and good repetition on the practice field is where you build good habits. And so, there's no shortcut to it. We just got to put the work in and stay consistent with our effort.
Hey, Josh, how did the respective returns of Bilal and John Hankins affect not only the interior of the defensive line, especially, but the entirety of the defensive line in general?
Yeah, it was good to see those guys back last week. Certainly we have now more depth than what we've been practicing with for sure. I think I think anytime you add players back, in this case, 2 defensive linemen that, we have, some hopes for, it kind of reallocates the repetitions. It re-slots everyone into maybe a role that maybe fits them, perfectly or better than maybe what we were doing before. But I see those guys as guys that can contribute. They're certainly vying for different roles across the front on our defensive line. But I think now a position that I would say for the most part, Paul, has been, a little bit thin, during the course of camp, has now kind of taken a boost here. And now I feel like we have some more depth up front, some more combinations. We bumped Kendall Vickers out to end a little bit this last week, because we have a little bit more depth inside. So, it allows us to make some moves and some decisions that maybe we didn't have the flexibility to make earlier, which I think, to your point, affects and impacts the entire defense.
Josh, 2 things. How did you guys come out health-wise yesterday, including Jordan Jenkins, who we saw go down? And then we know results don't matter in the preseason necessarily, but do you feel like you're kind of building that winning culture a little bit by getting these wins here?
The injury report and all that stuff, I don't have all the information yet on that. You saw Jenkins, go down, and we'll see where Jordan's at today. And then I'm not exactly sure yet, but I didn't feel like we were bad off relative to what we heard last night. Again, we'll confirm that obviously later once we hear, from the medical people after the guys have come in, since we got in so late. I think we all play this game to win. And so we don't treat these games any differently than we would treat a regular season games in terms of our effort to achieve the goal. We may not use everything that we would use in a regular season game to ultimately win the game relative to scheme and those types of things. But within the game plan that we've put together, which is usually fairly basic, we're trying to win. And so, I thought our offense, after they took the lead on us there in the fourth quarter, thought our offense responded. Mick put together a good drive with the offensive staff there in the fourth quarter and got us down the field. And, we're able to retake the lead with Daniel making the kick. And then, you're playing 2-minute defense and trying to stop them in 2-minute defense, and, forced them to kick a fairly long field goal to try to take the lead on us. And we were fortunate that he missed it. And then we're able to kind of finish it out with the 4-minute offense. So again, all the situational plays and all the things that come up in a game, whether it's a preseason or regular season game, they're meaningful. We can learn from them. I thought our team was into it. They understood what the situations were, what we were trying to get done. And I think that's great preparation for us as we move forward.
Got one more question for Paul.
Hey, Josh, and then how hard or how easy is it then to delegate those play calling responsibilities to Mick in a preseason game like that? But also, what are you looking forward to, and what do you hope to get out of these 2 joint practices with, these guys from your old stomping grounds this week?
Yeah. I think, first of all, I think it was great. It's been great experience, for our guys, not only Mick in terms of calling a few halves here, but I think our staff working together. We're literally going through our process after each possession, in between series, halftime, pre-game, post-game. We're going to do that here in a little bit when we meet as a staff and go back through the game. So we're trying to simulate everything we need to simulate that we're going to do during the course of a normal game. And for a young coach, and I was in that position, certainly, that hadn't called plays before. And, just to have that experience and that opportunity to do it in an environment that's a real game. I don't know that you can duplicate that in practice, when you're reading from a script or what have you. So I think that's invaluable for anybody that's doing it, and certainly for our staff that's new together. And these joint practices, I mean, they're great opportunities for us to compete against somebody else. I'm sure all of our guys are tired of doing one-on-ones against each other. They all know each other very well. They've seen the routes, they've seen the rushes, they've seen the pass protection sets. So they kind of know what to expect. So this is going to give our team an opportunity to compete against somebody new, to work our fundamentals and techniques against a different scheme, you know, we're not really going to go through a big scouting report about like, here's what we're going to see and here's what we're not going to see. Whatever happens on the field happens. So it's going to test our ability to communicate on the field and solve problems without really a lot of preparation, which is a great opportunity for us to test where we're at on that. And just to go out and really test, you know, where we're at, you know, in terms of our overall ability as a unit to perform, whether it's a special team unit, defensively, offensively. We're gonna hit a lot of different situations in the next couple of days here. Should be an opportunity for us to really improve our football team, and that's what we're looking forward to doing.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.